Anyway, let's get this ball going.
Okay. Da 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 da.
Ding. All right. So shake weight. It's up. Ready?
Yep.
Yep. I'm ready now.
On 1, 3, 2, 1.
This is not a workout. This is a revolution. This
A revolution, he says.
For men, and it's
I just
Okay,
want-
that's totally not a really awkward position for those hands there.
I was going to
Yeah.
say, just
Guaranteed.
substitute anything.
Okay, I'm good.
Just let your
Ordinary weights
imagination run
isolate
wild,
one muscle
folks.
in one direction. But shake weight harnesses the power
Yeah, that's
of
totally
dynamic
not
energy
suggestive at all.
to totally redefine strength training. As
the
you
hell
shake,
am I
the weights at
looking
each
at?
end fire and recoil rapidly.
Something glorious.
Piston-like motion sends
I
a
do love that they
shockwave of
got like
energy
the most
that
muscly
forces your
people
muscles
to make it look
contract
even
as many
more
as 240
suggestive,
times
really.
a minute. So you build definition, size, and strength fast. And now this technological breakthrough in strength training can be yours for just $29.95.
Wow,
Simply
only
is
$29.95
science fact,
plus
not
purchase and
fiction. A
packing.
leading
I
biomechanics
want one.
research center proved that 6 minutes with the shake weight burns as much muscle energy
I've
as
got nothing
42
because this one
with a
speaks for
standard
itself.
dumbbell.
Yeah.
You get ripped, defined, and stronger fast. Guaranteed.
You'll get ripped.
Skeptical? So were some of the toughest guys we could find.
You feel it all over too. That's what's amazing. Not just like right here, but all over. It feels like a food court and everything.
We're not totally being paid to say this.
Unbelievable. That feels like a wave run burn right there.
You feel it all
Forearms.
over.
My biceps are insanely hard. I felt it in my core. I felt it in
Insanely
my
hard, he says,
biceps,
as
my
opposed to
forearms.
elsewhere.
And I figured I was going to come down here. They said it was a 2 to 3 minute challenge. And I brought some of the strongest guys I know.
Why do I imagine
down
after
here.
the
I didn't see
filmings when they're
anybody
going,
do that,
man, I
so
got the weirdest boner right now.
I think we're all impressed. Definitely.
Call and order now, and we'll also send you this 6-minute upper body workout DVD. It's everything you need to add size, definition, and strengthen your chest, triceps,
Why do I imagine
biceps,
that there's a lot
and
of
shoulders.
very
Technology is all about packing
housewives that
mega
kind of like
performance in
50 Shades
less
of Grey
space,
buying this for
right?
alternative reasons
That's why
than
it
for the
comes with this
workout for the
ironclad
DVD.
kick butt guarantee. Do the shake weight workout just once. If your arms, chest, and shoulders aren't on fire in just 6 minutes, return it for a 100% refund. We'll even pay return shipping.
That's it.
3 exercises, 6 minutes, and the faster you shake, the more intense.
At least he
and
doesn't have it
challenging your
further
workout.
down his
Think
body,
you
nearer
can handle
the certain
it?
other area,
Then
I
call now
suppose.
and build
That's the only
muscle
way it
and
could have been worse,
definition in just
really.
6 minutes a day.
You know, I actually
With
seen
shake
something
weight
where,
for
there was not a commercial, but a prank with cops, where one guy actually held one of these objects and looked like he was doing something inappropriate, only for the cops to walk around, see what he's doing, and they actually got a good laugh out of it. So
This is the thing. There's something that men can naturally do to actually be able to get that effect. I'll leave it to your imagination as to what I'm thinking of.
okay, now as I was saying, what I was going to say, you know how like a lot of like these commercials are basically just exaggerations of stuff about how even with the greatest lie, there's the small grain of truth. Like I said, I actually own this product and I actually utilized it myself. And I will admit the commercial is not entirely lying in that you do feel, it working in like your lower arms, in your upper arms, you do feel it some sort of burn, but I don't really honestly think just utilizing this for 6 minutes, just 6 minutes a day, will actually get that proper that sculpted tone that they're showing off. That's just advertisement working its ad magic there. So, I mean, obviously they're holding they hired some ripped buff guy who's obviously been doing this stuff for years, because I'm like some 400-pound flab guy, And yeah, I mean, I suppose I could probably do something like that, but I'd probably need like an entire Bowflex machine and about maybe 20 years worth of just doing nothing but stuff like that.
Yeah, but at least with the Bowflex, you'd be doing it for a longer time.
Yeah. So.
Again, welcome to American advertising, folks. Or any advertising for that matter, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll give American advertising this. At least it's very rarely dull. That's the problem with British advertising. I was thinking to myself, I'll go for some really funny British ones. I was like, I really am turning up nothing here.
I don't know what to say to that. Right.
It's probably the most backhanded compliment I'll probably ever give, probably. It's like, oh, your adverts are terrible, but hey, at least they're memorable.
Now, bear in mind, we picked out crappy ones for a reason, but...
Well, yeah, true.
But I take that in good stride, in some strange fashion. All right, I think we'll go with the nostalgia trip next.
Okay. Oh, I know what you're talking about here.
I have no idea, so you're going to have to point me in the direction of the one you want me to
check
open.
Check the Skype chat.
Okay.
Both of you check the Skype chat. There's something else there.
I knew you already. When you mentioned nostalgia, I automatically knew what you were referring to.
I know you would, Ben, but I didn't know. But Matt asked for it. Now I picked this one because I'm just only gonna say this. If you were a kid growing up in the 90s, you saw this commercial.
I have such the hugest grin on my face right now.
Are you guys ready?
Oh, yes.
All right.
Retrojunk.com. Oh, that sounds promising.
That's the best way of describing this. All right. On 1, 3, 2, 1.
It's sometime in the future. The ultimate
Sometime in the future. You couldn't decide on a time.
It must be 2015 because they're coming in on hoverboards.
Admittedly, this advertising was pretty damn good for its time.
Yeah.
Oh, he literally did have a cross of fire in his nuts when he was finishing singing that song.
But for what it's worth, look at this commercial for a minute, folks. It reeked of the culture. It was energetic, and it advertised an actually pretty cool looking product.
It's very 90s as well. It's extreme.
Hence that reeking of the culture comment I made.
Yeah.
And of course, I like all American, families. They all saw it, and nobody bloody had it.
Yeah, that was the big thing about this was everyone saw it, nobody owned it. None of my friends owned it. None of the friends of my friends owned it. I did not know a single soul who owned the actual Crossfire game.
Story of my life.
I think we had something similar here in England, but yeah, no one I know had something like that.
I actually remember seeing something like that once. I forget exactly where I seen it. I was actually a teenager at the time when I finally first saw one for the first time, and I believe the very first time I ever remember seeing that, like the first thought that went through my head was, "Holy shit, the thing's real." It actually exists. Oh my god. I never got to play it.
That's going to be your one big regret in life. It's like, I regret nothing except not being able to play Crossfire!
Crossfire! Yeah, again, it was actually a very effective advertisement.
I still love that one. Just for the whole pseudo metal music that they were doing with that.
I like it for the nostalgia trip myself.
Yeah.
All right, Ben, you're next.
Okay. Well, let's see what we got here. Well, we haven't really gone with anything really lowbrow. Why don't we go ahead and go with the bear?
Talk about jumping into the deep end right off the bat, eh?
Yeah. Might as well get this one over with.
Is it the one that rhymes with Fiddy?
Yes.
Yes.
Right, we'll go with that one then.
You know what? I'm gonna say this because it's partially because it's setting the tone, and I know you already did, Mr. Ben, and I'm gonna I won't ruin the surprise, but when I was getting this one to download, I was thinking, oh, good Lord, Ben. I was trying to keep my commercials somewhat decent, and then you throw this one at me.
Like I said, I aim to please. I'm just going to let the chat know. You know all of my catchphrase. We can't take that out of context, couldn't we? Well, yeah, you guys. I saw this one. I'm like, oh god, Elliot's either going to laugh or he's going to kill me on this one.
No, he's going to kill you while laughing at you.
Or that, yes.
I was about to say if he doesn't do both.
All right, let's get this one going. You guys ready?
I am.
The fact, yeah. Oh god, the first picture even makes me wonder
Let
what
that
the hell
set
I'm
the
letting
tone,
myself in for. Oh god.
On one.
Right.
3, 2, 1.
Does the shoulder strap of your car cut into your shoulder?
Just like
Is your
with the
shoulder
shake weight,
strap
I'm gonna
too
let this
tight
one
and
speak for
annoying?
itself.
Introducing the Titty Bear, the cute little guy that eliminates all those problems. Designed to make driving more comfortable.
Oh, I'm
the
jealous
Titty
now. I
Bear
want to be a
snaps
titty
onto your
bear.
shoulder strap and moves up and down to
I was
remove the
waiting for
pressure
that
wherever
comment.
you need it.
My shoulder strap used to pull so tight I could hardly breathe. Now with the Titty Bear, I really
You know,
enjoy
I was
traveling
trying to give it the
again.
benefit
The
of the doubt when I
patent-pending
first saw
design
this
swivels
and
to work
called
from
it
either the
titty
driver's
bear.
side or passenger
No,
seat.
they go
and
right
fits
off,
all
"It's the
makes
titty
and
bear."
models. Just snap
I
it
know
on,
exactly. I mean,
slide it where it
it's
relieves the
like they're
pressure,
trying to
and
be.
drive away. The Titty
Oh,
Bear
man,
stays where you want
why-
it until
why-
you
why-
need it.
do this.
My wife used to
If
always
it's just
complain
been
about
like
the pressure from her shoulder
just
belt.
a
Not anymore.
cushioned
And the
piece
Titty Bear
for your
works so
for your
great,
for your
you got one
strap,
for
it
itself,
wouldn't
too.
be so bad. But the fact they
cuddly
made
teddy
it
bear
look
is
like a
filled
teddy
with
bear
soft,
just makes
cushy
it
beads,
so much
so it
more
snuggles comfortably to
suggestive.
your needs.
I know.
Place it here, or anywhere you need to keep
Especially
those
the woman in
irritating
the
straps
pink
from
blouse
digging
there.
in.
It's
My
like,
shoulder strap
what?
was always
What?
digging in. But the
Also,
Titty
I
Bear
like how
Bear
they're
is
marketing
for
it.
me to drive
They're
in.
marketing
The
this
Titty
for
Bear
adults.
works great for
It
men
seems
and
much
women
more like a
and
kid's
kids of all
thing.
sizes. It works
of
for
which-
everyone.
You would
and it's
think,
easy to
yeah.
snap out of the way when
But I
not in
mean,
use.
okay, I
The
can
secure
see it being
snap-on
marketed for kids,
button
but for
makes the
adults
Teddy Bear
as well.
safe and fun for
Really?
infants and small children.
If you're in and out of your car all day like
Okay.
I am, you're really gonna
What
enjoy
what
the
makes it really terrible is the fact
Now
that
you can
they
have your
not
own teddy
only
bear
call
and
this
eliminate those
the
annoying shoulder
titty
strap
bear,
things.
but
Call and order your
I mean,
teddy bear
it's not
right
like you
now.
can't unhear this into something completely suggestive, something similarly sounding. They actually go and bloody show it by actually putting it right there in the one place you can't even possibly mistake it for.
813-6691
They have the
right
bear
now.
dig
That's
into a booth.
1-800-813-6691.
Yeah.
Supplies are limited and will not last at this price. Call
Mummy,
right now
Mummy,
at
can I have some
1-800-813-6691.
chocolate, Mummy?
That's
That's what I was thinking
1-800-813-6691.
of now is the Austin Powers scene. Sorry, love, I was in your dirty pillows.
So yeah, I mean, it's like when it's like what you said. You're willing to watch this, and you just as you're just about to begin to give them the benefit of the doubt, they do that thing where they take the actual product, they put it right there in the middle of the woman's bosom, and just whatever doubt you had just goes flying right out the window. Like, nope.
At that
No,
point,
I would just have the bit where you see the teddy bear on the woman's breast, and then just cut away to Mike Myers' Austin Powers going, "Oh, behave."
To be honest, that would have probably made that commercial only that much better.
It would have.
But yeah, that was the whole reason why I went with this one, is because I saw that one, I saw the commercial, I mean, I saw the product. As soon as they mentioned it, titty, like T-Y-D-D-Y, T-I-D-D-Y, I was like, you have got to be bloody kidding me. And then they put the thing right in the middle, and like, oh, no, they're not, nope, I'm done, I'm out of here.
I'm out of here.
Officially endorsed by 50 cents.
Oh.
So.
Why don't we go? Okay, what? I want to move on, but I don't know if I could.
I think we should go for some beer. I like the idea of the Budweiser one.
No.
Or are you going to leave that till near the end?
Well, I was thinking that, or since we're on the subject of you can't believe it actually exists, I was thinking of going for the cult robe. So which one do you guys want?
We'll go for the one. We'll go for the one you just said. Which one was it called? Sorry.
I'll type it in.
All right. Okay.
So,
Oh,
yeah, I'm gonna mention this one here. This is the other product that I actually own.
I own this one too. I'll say that too.
So yeah.
I'll ask if it's the same as something similar until after we've actually seen it, because obviously I don't want to spoil what the advert's for. So.
Okay, so we'll talk about it later. But anyway, are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
It'll probably answer my question while watching it anyway. So.
On 1, 3, 2, 1.
You want to keep warm when you're feeling chilled, but you don't.
Yeah, but
turn the heating up there.
But you're in Southern California, lady. You're fine.
And slide, and when you need to reach for something, your hands are trapped inside.
First
world
Now,
say that as a
there's the
Minnesotan.
Snuggie, the blanket that has sleeves. The Snuggie keeps you totally warm and gives you the freedom to use your hands.
So it's just
now
basically
you
a
can
massive
work the remote
onesie.
Or read a book in total warmth and
Except
comfort.
it doesn't
Sort
zip
of.
off.
Laptop without
That'd be
being
the forever
cold.
lazy,
Or enjoy a
which is something we
snack
probably
while
could have
staying
done.
snugly warm. Snuggie is made of ultra soft, thick, luxurious fleece.
I just see this and I just think to myself, man, you could probably wear this backwards and it'd be like a great Jedi robe.
Super large, one size fits all.
Only if it's
I love that.
Stay warm from head
Yeah,
to
I look
toe.
at this though, and I
Never
can't
cold
help but
feet.
go.
And with Snuggie, you can get up
Cult,
and still
cult,
stay warm.
cult,
Perfect
cult.
for men, women, and children.
It's the red.
It's for the greater good. The greater good.
Greater good. Yep.
The greater good, yes.
Or keep your pet close at hand. Perfect for chilly outdoor
And the worst
outings.
part is they actually have them outside. Here's the
Wait,
shot.
were they cooking marshmallows indoors there? It looked like they were indoors, like on a dining, specially commissioned dining table there. That was really odd.
No, they were outside.
On the phone, do what you need to and stay totally
And then
warm
I'm getting
with
inside the
Snuggie.
Djibouti Dubs
Similar
line.
products
Look at how much
sell
fun these people are.
$60, but
I'll save it for
call
later.
now and you'll get the ultra
See if we
Yeah.
can get it.
soft,
But
ultra
yeah, let's
warm
cite the
Snuggie
line.
for only $14.95. Available in royal blue, sage green, and burgundy.
Oh, look at that
As an
lime
added bonus,
green.
you'll
That's
also
what I
receive our
want.
compact
Lime
press
green
and
one.
book light. Just press and the book
Couldn't
light
they have chosen
instantly
the
opens
worst
and
colours
turns on
for
extra
it?
light where you
They
need it
came
for
out with more
$15
later.
value free.
Oh, look, it's
Yeah.
the light for your book. Great.
Or
Or I could just get myself an iPad and I wouldn't need a light.
Both for only $14.95.
To order, call 1-800-819-0658.
Oh, they don't have it. Look at how much fun these people are having as they burn someone of a lesser race.
Press and open book light for just $14.95 plus processing and
That
handling.
one was one of their better dubs.
1-800-819-0658.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna just go out on a limb here. I'm probably gonna be the only one here, and I apologize if I'm like the only one with this opinion, but I actually like my Snuggie. I'm not gonna lie. I like it because it actually bloody works. I wear it and it actually keeps me bloody warm. I actually remember I was laying on my bed once, just the Snuggie alone on the top of my bed, and I was like, I am so warm and comfortable I could just fall asleep, and I actually did.
To be fair, out of all the products we've seen so far, it's probably the one that I would most likely would probably actually buy so far. So there is that. Thing is though, why don't you just get if you're feeling cold and you want something that's gonna be like all around you, why don't you just nick your quilt off your bed cover? That's what I would probably do. So
For what it's go ahead. Yeah, for what it's worth, I like mine too. I got it as a Christmas present a few years ago, and it works. It actually does what it's advertised. So, hooray for it. The only reason I picked this one, though, is because I'll never forget the first time I saw this commercial, which was before I actually had one. I couldn't believe that such a thing existed. Like I said, it looks like a damn cult robe. And that's all I could think of. It was just, it's a cult robe. It's a cult robe. You look like an idiot in a cult robe. And yeah, there's a few YouTube commenters and some others were throwing out here. Why don't you just throw a robe on in reverse? You could, but I will give the Snuggie a little credit where credit's due. It is a little bit longer and more designed for, adult humans and whatnot, so it has that going for it.
I will admit, there's times I've actually found it hard to walk with the thing because it's so bloody long. I've actually almost tripped over it a couple of times. So I've actually had to pick it up from the front and carry it with me, so I'm not in danger of sliding or walking forward and tripping and falling and busting my chin on the floor. But yeah, it's you wear it. It does have the sleeves to where you can actually have your arms free on it. It actually feels comfortable.
I know someone that won't be buying one then. Madonna. I don't know if you heard about her slip at the Brit Awards the other day.
I haven't, but
oh no, that was quite humorous. The actual pictures they managed to get for the front cover of the papers was hilarious. Anyone that doesn't know what the Brits is, it's basically the British version of the Grammys.
Shall we move on then?
Okay. I guess what I could suggest here is the putter one here.
All right.
This is one of those another ones that now I will admit on this one. This is another one of those things where I'm just channeling AVGN here. What the hell were they thinking on this one?
Oh, I've just started it up, and I can also warn that the quality of the actual footage is sort of let's be kind and say it's 240p at best.
At that, I couldn't find anything better with this one.
Well, to be fair, a lot of these ads are pretty old and whatever, so that's completely understandable. But I'll just warn now that the picture quality of this next ad is not the best.
So
this is another one of those cases of you can't believe it exists, and yet it really does.
I was just looking at the title of it, and I'm like, oh god, what are we letting ourselves in for?
The only thing I'll say about this one though is, unlike some of the other ones, well, except for the titty bear. This one, you don't know what to think, as in not in a good way. So, all right, you guys ready?
I'm ready.
I saw this. Oh, on 1, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, no. You missed that putt again. You probably don't have enough time to practice. You can have more time to practice your putting with the Putty Putter, the amazing new time golf game.
Oh, God. I hate to say this, but the shop I work at, we've actually sold these. It weren't called Putty Putter, but I think it was called like just the toilet putting set. But yes, we have actually sold these.
Into the cup.
You know what I laugh at is the idea of, this is going to solve your putting problem.
Yeah.
Just choke up on your putter and sink the ball.
I don't know about you guys, but when I'm on the John, doing other activities does not
rush, and that's unhealthy. But with the putty putter,
strike me
you'll
as
take the
something I
time
want
to
to do.
play
I don't
with
like
your
sitting
putter.
in my own
It's
stead.
the most satisfying way to practice your
I love how the guys like when you're on there, you try to go as fast as you can, and that's unhealthy. I'm like, what?
It's ideal for the executive washroom at the office.
Thank you, dear, for giving me this amazing gift. You knew I sucked at golf, and now I can play golf even when we're having an argument with you in the house.
We'll include the doorknob hangers warning everyone not to disturb you while you're practicing your putting. The putty putter with the putting green, the putting cup, and
screw the rest of the family that might need to go to the toilet or have a shower or anything.
Like, Daddy, I have to throw up. I need the toilet. I'm sorry, I'm practicing my putting.
Can
I do that outside, Dad? No, I must sit here and concentrate very hard.
And he's reenacting his professional golf fantasy. All right, Johnson is here with a 2-foot putt. Should be very easy. If he sinks this, he will win the national title. Putt. And he did it. He did it.
First, he needs to finish his number 2 before he can celebrate.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to admit there's actually a similar commercial when you mentioned that there was actually a commercial. I did throw it in there because I thought it was just okay. No, this is too weird even for my standards. But the commercial was for a product called the Euro Club, URO Club. Basically, what it is it looked kind of like a golf club that you held in front of you, but what it did was it gave you this belt and like a little flap in front to cover your hands and your lower torso, because what the product was supposed to do is it was supposed to help you effectively
relieve yourself.
Relieve yourself, yes, in public without anyone really, noticing you or trying to, basically you being discreet about it. But the problem is that with the flap that they gave you to cover your hands and the club itself, it looked so totally out of place. It looked far more attention grabbing than inconspicuous. And I'm like, no, I don't think I'm going to go with this one.
Well, if you're trying to get the ladies' attention. Also, the Euro Club. Gee, given the product itself, way to really take a piss on our European friends.
I see what you did there.
And no, I'm not.
I'm saying nothing for trying to keep myself on the higher plane, which is unusual for me. But I'm not going to sink to your level. I see your bait, but I am not going to take it.
No, believe it or not, I'm not actually trying to bait you on anything here, Matt. I'm actually saying that as much of a joke as I can make out of it, that's kind of insulting.
We've had worse. We can insult ourselves. Thank you very much.
All right. My turn. Do we want the shoehorn or the horse?
Well, be voting for horse in the chat. To be fair, I mean we are as close to being a horse site as we're probably ever going to get. So
you want the horse?
Yeah, let's get the horse out the way.
All right.
Let me load the horse.
Go ahead. I need to set the tone for this one. I wanted to pick this commercial not because of what it actually shows, but because of what happened after it aired. This was a Super Bowl ad in circa 2005, we'll say, give or take a few years. If anyone's been keeping track of the Super Bowl commercials ever since about then, you'll notice that the quality has really fallen flat. I mean, wow. They aren't even...
It's like they're not even trying anymore.
Exactly.
NFL leads the way. In fact, the NFL seems to be leading the way. Says everything.
But here's the thing. Ask anyone whose team is not in the Super Bowl, and they'll tell you they're watching it for the commercials. And there's a reason for that. Because Super Bowl commercials were, at some point, really good. And I mean really good.
I thought it was because American football was so dull and boring that you had to watch the commercials to keep yourself from falling asleep. But, hey, what do I know? Well, I'm probably going to be, killed by, several people, including probably Tox or something. But there you go.
Bear in mind that that's just, of course, a difference of culture. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. Anyway,
give me some rugger any day, and by rugger I mean rugby. If anyone doesn't know what that slang is for rugby,
I figured that's what it was. Anyway, yeah. Take a look if you want to. Getting back to my point about the commercials, the Super Bowl commercials going down in quality. Take a look at this year's. I didn't see the Super Bowl, but all I heard out of people was they were tear jerkers. Let that stand as some evidence, especially some strong evidence, of exactly what I'm getting at here. Now,
it says something with the biggest reaction was having MLP appear for less than 2 seconds.
I was about to say, that was the only thing that I heard about the Super Bowl that anyone really gave a toss about. Was
that and Britney Spears, which was in the exact same ad.
Yeah. Ugh. But bear in mind, though, that's how do I want to put this? Rage will supersede happiness. So there you go.
I actually saw people giving more of a toss about the halftime show than about the commercials. But I'm getting off track here.
But anyway, so you want to know the commercial that killed, I say killed in quotes, that killed the Super Bowl ad, it's this one. Now, it's not because it exists. It's because, of course, use your imagination about what happened after this one aired. So are you guys ready?
All right. I'm ready.
I'm ready.
On 1. 3, 2, 1.
This is so romantic.
Well, it's about to get a little bit more.
Porno
romantic.
music isn't helping.
A little
No.
candlelight
Oh.
and a little Bud Light.
A little blue smoothie.
Oh.
I know it's not the blue smoothie, but I just wanted to say that.
Do you smell barbecue? Oh,
Fresh, smooth, real Bud Light.
cool, a rocket sled.
It's all here.
Now, what do you think happened after that commercial aired, folks?
Oh, everything went for the toilet humor.
No.
No.
I'll never forget this.
I'm guessing there was a backlash on it being too silly, and then they've gone the other way. I'm guessing.
Exactly. I will never forget. I heard this on the local radio station, and I live in the middle of nowhere, and I mean nowhere. No one could find me if they tried. I heard this on my local radio station. I heard people calling in, complaining about this ad. This ad and some others.
Really?
I am dead.
You got
serious
nothing
about this.
better to complain about in life? The tax rates or the economy. No. Oh, it's an ad with some silly humour that might actually perk people up for a few seconds. Oh no, we can't have that. It might offend someone.
You're saying everything I need to say, Matt.
Trust me, we've gone through this already in Britain. Britain's like America, like a few hundred years ahead. Basically, you'll get over it eventually, and then you'll be just self-deprecation humour will be the next stage. Don't worry.
I don't know if I should be looking for. Actually, to be fair, I think we're somewhat closer to that than you might give us credit for. Anyway,
it's pretty different in certain areas of America, though. So
yeah. I'll to be fair, though, you have to understand that where I live, it's nothing but farmland and old folks. So, yeah, when you say they've got nothing better to do, they really don't have much better to do.
So you live in a cross between Florida and Canada?
Yep, pretty much. But we've said all that needs to be said. Let's move on.
Okay. Let's go with the shoehorn one, because the last two that I've got basically would probably work best to best back to back, just as a sort of a compare and contrast.
Well, we could do them right now if you want, but I think we should do the shoehorn one right off the bat. Yeah, I like that idea.
Okay.
Now, this is one I picked, and I want to, again, just quietly set the tone here, or quickly, not quietly. This one, it's not the product that's bad. It's something else. But I'll let it speak for itself. You guys ready?
Yep.
Ready.
3, 2, 1.
Bending over to put your shoes on is a back-breaking chore.
Hello, Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh God, the voiceover.
Hurt even more. Well, now there's Shoe-Dini, the world's first shoehorn that lets you get your shoes on and
So it's a
off.
telescopic shoehorn.
Has a telescoping handle that gives you the reach you need.
Actually,
so you
that
can
would be
slip
quite.
your shoes
I hate to say this, but that
without
would actually probably be quite
bending
useful for my mum.
Like regular shoehorns, Shoe-Dini has a patented
And yeah, that's just it. I don't think the product itself is terrible, but you have Gilbert Gottfried narrating this. Who thought that was going to work?
Well, it's certainly memorable.
Maybe that's exactly it.
To be fair, it's not like it's a particularly interesting thing to be trying to sell, so you got to spice it up somehow. It's not the sexiest thing that you're selling, really, is it?
Or back pain, especially those with limited mobility. Plus, the grip clip lets you pick up your shoes.
It's just bad, like, ever since I saw that, and I can never imagine Gilbert Gottfried as anything but Iago.
No, I'm with you on that one.
On and off the easy way. Get Shoe-Dini right
And yet,
this
surprisingly,
second.
that
Come
would
on,
work.
Please, It's not just a shoehorn, it's a shoehorn on a
Also,
stick.
why is it called Shoe-Dini? It's not like it's trying to escape from anywhere, is it?
Our shoe renewer, a one-pass clear coat refinisher that works on any color to keep your shoes looking fresh and new. Plus, it's great.
Oh wow, does it really do that in just one swipe? That's amazing. I want one.
Pay shipping. That's right. You get 2
What's the better that all it does is just make your shoe wet?
Only $14.99.
Yeah, that's probably
Order now! Buy our toys!
And they say that toy advertisements are not subtle. All right. Mr. Ben, of course, you want to set this one?
For the next one, you mean?
Yeah.
Which
okay.
one are we going with the two?
Not the one that's... Oh, where did I see it? Not the one with the DJ...
The other one, the V one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a infomercial here that's probably pretty infamous. It is regards to a kitchen device here that's supposed to make cutting a lot easier, and has tones to a particular class on a popular video game that several comparisons have been drawn to. If you already know what I'm talking about, I shouldn't need to go any further than that.
I think it's not necessarily the device in so much as who is advertising it.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to get at.
Okay.
I'll probably be asking who it is, but we'll get to it when we get to it.
All right. You guys ready?
Ready! Bring me metal men to... Oh, wait, no, that's I'm sorry.
Matt?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
All right, again.
I thought I said I was ready, but obviously I didn't, so.
On 1, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, it's Vince with Slap Chop.
Hi, it's Vince with Slap Nuts.
Is going to be slapping your troubles away with the Slap Chop. Now look, here's a potato. 1 slap, you got big chunks for stew. 2 slaps, home fries in a second. And look at this. But you add a mushroom, the more you do it, now, you love salad, you hate making it. You know you hate making
Actually,
salad.
no, I
That's why
don't
you
like
have any
salad.
salad in your diet. Watch this. 1 slap, salad.
I actually don't mind salad.
Get the veggies in. At least throw it on top of the
See, I'm not really much of a salad eater myself, so...
Coleslaw stuff, in what, 5 seconds? 4 or 5 seconds, it's done. This tuna looks boring.
Stop having
boring tuna. Stop having a boring life. Add this tuna.
My cat loves tuna.
Now you're going to have a nice tuna salad. Look at this. You're going to have an exciting life now. Look, here's a hard-boiled egg.
I know that.
You can have an exciting life just because you can.
And what you can do, you can mix
Have you guys ever
used
used this thing
you're gonna love this.
or anything like it and have an exciting life?
Breakfast to go. You're gonna love my nuts. Watch this.
To be fair, it doesn't look so. Do you know what I could do to get the same effect for how that looks? I could just get myself a hammer and just hammer my product, and it would be all smashed to pieces like that.
If you love my nuts, he says to that hooker.
You can make it for 10 cents. Stop throwing your money away. You know, not only nuts. What about fruit? Put a mango.
Hey, as long as they're not salty nuts.
Look at that. Isn't that beautiful on your ice cream? The reason you're gonna slap away every day.
Hang on, did they just put a shine animation over the blooming fruit when they finished doing that? Sparkly. What the hell? Why?
All the stores have this. You can't clean it. You can't open this up. It's
also, why couldn't they afford a proper microphone for the guy so he didn't look like he was like talking? It's like they'd ripped it straight from the call center.
You're gonna eat more garlic.
You know that's probably
why.
All right,
this is making you cry, making me cry. All right, life's hard enough.
It's like, hey, you look like you've got a face for TV. We'll pick you to do our TV ad whilst walking up and down the call center. But to be fair, the call center's probably in China, probably or something. So.
Racist.
We're gonna make America skinny.
No, just business sense, because it's just cheaper to have it out there.
It's a time saver for recipes. Take it apart, washes, put it in the drawer, good to go.
It's easy, you just got
I love the British Telecom has theirs in Pakistan now, I think. Is it Pakistan or was it India? I can't remember. I think it might be India, actually.
White cheese, yellow cheese, in the container.
We're gonna give you the gravy in the ass.
And watch this, tacos, fettuccine, linguine, martini,
Why
bikini. Look at that, the 2 blades, just bang it, cheese comes right out, fine, coarse,
why can't you just use a grater?
Stay sealed. Put it in the fridge, take it out when you need it.
It's a grating,
Matt.
Matt.
You're gonna love this thing. The Slap
it's so much better.
$19.95.
Duh.
Now. within the next 20 minutes, because you know we can't do this all day, you're going to get the Grady absolutely free.
Within
So that's
20
two
minutes, yeah.
for
What's the bet that this advert is shown like every day on certain channels?
I know, right?
Wow, 10-year warranty. Not in stores, except for when they're in like charity shops.
That's 1-800-951-7713. 1-800-951-7713.
Beware of imitators. Oh no! Someone might have copied our crappy idea and actually done it cheaper. You better keep away from them.
And they probably also did it better too.
But they're probably just as good, probably.
So yeah, so a lot of people, that was also known as the ShamWow guy, but yeah, that was Vince Offer. A lot of people have suggested that he was very similar to Team Fortress 2 Scout. So
yeah, the Team Fortress 2 Scout parody, the Scout advertises this. They exist, people. I have one of those videos in my cache here. And
funny thing is that Valve actually did reference that by having the Scout actually say, "If you order now, I'll throw in a second beat, absolutely free." simply because of that.
Why is it if I imagine they do it now, they'd give you a free bonus rubber ducky, just so that they can do the bonus ducks meme?
Bonus duck.
Bonus duck. But yes. Anyway, aside from that particular little commercial, some guy also had the brilliant idea to take this commercial and make a dance video out of it. Practically, he made a rap video out of this commercial. And
is it as bad as the dog rap we saw last week?
Oh, it's much better.
It's much
good.
better.
Good. Because I still get night terrors.
Trust me. Yeah, I know that feeling, man. I've been there. But this one is actually very entertaining, and we mean that sincerely.
Yes. That's it. I have a little bit of interesting trivia after this as well, so if we want to go ahead and pull this one up.
All right, I should be ready.
All right.
You guys are ready?
Yep.
Yes.
As usual, on 1, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, it's Fitz with slap chop 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 chop. Hi, it's Fitz with slap chop. You're gonna be in a great mood all day. You're gonna slap your troubles away with a slap your troubles away with a slap chop.
Also tune for the win. You can make just about anything sound like like they're singing perfectly for the song with it.
You're not kidding,
That's
right?
beauty auto-tune right there, man.
Oh yeah, exactly. This is why I like auto-tune for some reason.
You hate making, you know you hate making salad. You hate making so we don't have any salad in your diet. Just one salad. Soup, coleslaw, stuff in what? 5 seconds? 4 or 5 seconds, it's done. This thing just tuna. What's boring? Stop having a boring tuna. Stop having a boring life. Add this tuna, bring it like this. Now you're gonna have a nice, exciting life. Now here's a hard-boiled egg. One chunk of pickle. You add the green and what you can do, you can mix things together. You add ham, and you're gonna love this. You don't have time to make breakfast. Breakfast to go.
Why am I now imagining him saying that's green egg and ham?
And we should probably also watch that video as well for CQRiffs, that movie.
Oh god, the Shaquille O'Neal one. Oh,
yeah, I know.
The one where he's a genie. Oh,
yeah,
god.
yeah.
Oh god.
Green egg and ham it up.
The reason you're gonna slap away every day is because it's so easy to clean. 1,
2, 3.
4. Then Applejack just appears.
Can't open this up. It's worthless. Forget about it. Now take the slap chop, put it back together. Put the slap chop right there.
What the hell?
Chop right there. Let's put the slap chop right there. Let's put the slap chop right there. The skin's at the bottom.
Just randomly insert some footage from something completely different there.
The skin's at the bottom.
You have to understand this is the original footage. We'll get into that later.
The skin comes right off. The skin comes right off. Now put a tomato in there. Add your cilantro, your hot peppers right there. You can hit it like this. Hit it like this. Hit it like this. Hit it like this.
Why does it look like he's... Yeah, I'm guessing that was done for a reason there.
One slap at a time. It's guys,
Why is it with something called slap chop? I'm thinking that should have tried to have done it to smack my bitch up by the Prodigy. Probably would have been a bit too controversial, right?
You just got one hand and chop, 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 chop.
Watch this: tacos, fettuccine, linguine, martini, bikini.
That's not going to be stuck in my head for the next 6 hours. I don't know, but
Oh man, that was that. Whoever made that, I tip your hat off to you, sir or madam, because that was brilliant.
Oh, see, now, this is the trivia that I want to get into. That was so brilliant that the actual advertising company that made the original commercial, the one with just Vince alone, saw this remix, actually came up to the maker of that particular video and said, we would like to buy your video and use that as an actual commercial. And they did. They actually used
That's awesome.
They actually used that commercial. Now the thing is, the shots that we've seen of the random breakdancing people, that was actually scenes from a movie. I believe it was called Breakin' 2 Electric. It was one of the 2 Breakin' films. I want to say it was the second one, Electric Boogaloo.
I actually have that on my laptop.
But
Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo. I'll be able to check later.
But yeah, what happened was, since they had actual commercial or actual shots from a licensed movie, they couldn't use those same shots, so they actually had to take random breakdancers, just standard what's the term I'm thinking of here, just non-licensed, and just had people just breakdancing and just insert those shots and redo it. But yes, they actually made that into an actual commercial. Yes, I wish I could say I was bullshitting you on that, but no, I'm not.
I think that's awesome. This is the thing. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's really bad that companies are." There's a lot of issues with content ID on YouTube, but I think it's great that a company like that has thought to themselves, actually, hang on a minute, we're actually getting more exposure here, and this is actually helping us sell more of our product, not less.
One thing I want to point out that Mr. Ben has been hitting on, the guy's name is DJ Steve Porter. I follow him, so if you want to find him, I can provide you a link. He, last I saw, he does a lot of remixes like this for ESPN. So, yeah, you want to tell me about this guy going far, there you go.
And I did mean to mention his name earlier. I do apologize for that. But yeah, the artist's name is DJ Steve Porter. And if you thought that was brilliant, check out his other stuff, because he's actually got some really cool stuff on his channel.
Eat your Wheaties.
So.
And now for the grand finale of this.
Yes.
I'm just checking to make sure that indeed we have everything. Yep, that's everything.
It looks good to me. I suppose I better, considering this is my pick and the only pick I have for our offerings, you'd think it would be something meager. Oh no. When I go for infomercials, I go for the big ones, and well, I would explain what the product is, but all I'll say is that it'll probably please some people here anyway. I can't believe they made an infomercial this long about this product. I'm amazed there was enough for them to talk about, to be fair. But hey, this is the thing. But
I'll tell
anyway.
I'll tell you what, Matt. I'll grant your wish at some point. Probably when the thing's over, but we'll see.
I'm sorry,
I haven't seen the whole thing, but I'll in some way, shape, or form grant your wish.
Oh, I saw it and I was like, "Oh, we've got to do this. We just have to."
It is CQ, run by me, after all. Well, I say run loosely, but you know what I mean.
It was helmed by you, it was headed by you. Whole thing's your brainchild anyway, so.
Well, shit.
De facto later, if you will.
Well, I was going to say, shit, Freudian slip, because there we go. And let's just start this out, and I'll sit in my shame corner. Anyway, 3, 2, 1.
And with the optional digital video cartridge.
Oh wow, we're already getting some good video quality here.
Yeah, this was taken from a VHS, so the quality will not be great. But yes, as you've seen from the bottom right-hand corner, yes, this is for the Philips CDI.
I just like this lady talking as if to say, "Hey, let's try and make this illusion." No, it won't.
I just like this, just a random guy just standing there like he's in the middle of the street trying to find out about the CDI. It's like someone's like cornered him. It's like, here, have a look at this.
Video game and everything, and that it's
interactive.
Right, interactive.
May I show you how?
Yeah, because all my previous video games were never interactive.
Yeah, I know. I mean, all I did was run to the right.
And press jump a few times. God, who plays those silly baby toys like Mario? Honestly. I want to pay $700 for a console that's the size of a VCR. And by the size of a VCR, I mean the really old, massive VCRs.
Where is the wall, anyway?
I was never gone. So, did you get some help from help?
Very informative, but not what I expected.
She's amazing, isn't she? But she's only got a one-track mind. Unlike me, I'm very diverse. Which reminds me,
I'm very diverse.
Yes.
And it just shows like 3 things, like right in quick random order there.
Well, they couldn't afford any licensing for anything else.
Oh! I want to just point out right here. I always love it when video games advertise this very family-friendly looking thing. I always do, because it is so not.
The whole family has fun.
What's this?
You want to know what it?
Oh, look, it's the Magic School Bus. Oh no, it's not. Damn.
You want to know what it usually is? It's the oldest male child raging at the damn machine over some nubile one killing him.
But no one has time to take them. So Mama Bear agrees to let them go, but only if they prove they are responsible enough to go on their
Do you know what? What's funny is I really should get my CDI emulator working again. That's all this thing is reminding me of, because there are some absolute classics that I should really get to if I can get them to work.
I'm just watching this and I'm remembering that there was an actual Berenstain Bears cartoon, and I remember actually seeing that as a young kid.
The only thing I'm watching, as I'm sitting here watching this, is just going, you guessed it, my boy, my boy, my boy, my boy, my boy, my boy.
Oh, I knew it was coming. Yes, you can watch films on our CDI. Admittedly, they're probably in better quality than they were on the Sega CD, but hey, they probably are like a picture that's like a box inside the screen, like the old Sega CD was. Oh yeah, by the way, the wireless controllers on the CDI suck balls. Yep. And I have actually played a Philips CDI, a real one. I knew someone that actually had one. And the wireless controllers, you know, the Angry Video Game Nerd said that they suck. They really do suck balls.
Wow.
Phil, there's a message for you.
Mr. Jacobson.
And I have that golf game that we briefly saw. Yes, I have actually played that on an actual CDI.
Did it work?
It was functional, at least.
Huh. Talk about damned by fate praise.
So that makes it better than about half the CDI's library.
Oh, not again.
Good job, Phil. You're getting the idea.
Good job, Phil. You've mastered something that a 4-year-old could master in 2 minutes.
Yeah, the DVD options menus on a DVD.
Sorry, Phil. Time for a message about CDI from Philips Electronics. Grab your pencil.
I don't have a pencil. Why do I need a pencil?
Like an ordinary compact disc, but actually, it's an interactive encyclopedia.
Oh, good.
Wow, I've always wanted an interactive encyclopedia.
I know, right? Oh, there it is. My
God.
boy, my boy,
there
my
it
boy,
is.
My boy, my boy, my boy.
A few seconds, yeah.
Oh dear.
This is CDI.
Got a question for both of you, since you're video gamers along with me. When you were trying to make your video game selections, did you ever take education into account?
No.
Yes, I always wanted to play Mario is Missing.
Don't get me started on that.
To be fair, I never had an NES, so I can't actually say that. No, surprisingly, no, I didn't.
It's very sharp. It's very clear.
Sharp, very clear. I can't make out any of the colors. It's just gray.
That's when I got it. When I actually finally got it working.
To let the chat know about this, we're actually about a fourth of the way in right now, so...
Yeah, this is actually a very, very lengthy infomercial about the CD. I like how it tells you what it plays now. It's like, wow, it plays music CDs, it plays Kodak photo CDs, it plays interactive CDI titles.
And it's $499. And at what... just give me some context here. What year did this come out again?
This was
93. It was literally just before the Sega Saturn basically came. It was sort of it was basically in the height of the sort of the SNES basically. The SNES was basically starting to take over from the Genesis.
Early 90s then. Okay.
93. I think it was 93.
Trying to remember. Okay, so 93. So that's about 20 years from now. 10. No,
20,
yeah.
About 20 years ago.
21 years ago, yeah. You know, it's still telling that here it is. It's 2015. I still think of the 90s as being 10 years ago.
I know, right?
I'm just trying to think of like how much $4.99 in 1993 would be in 2015 now.
Well, let's put it this way.
It launched at $700, I'm pretty sure. So this must have been slightly after it had actually first been released. At least, I would say. I'm pretty sure the launch price was closer to $700. Unless I'm thinking of the 3DO. The 3DO I know was very expensive as well.
Well, let's put it this. Let's use a different medium. The SNES and the Sega Saturn came out at much cheaper prices. I think the SNES was probably at most $300. And that's being pretty generous here. But
I remember actually
really... Go ahead. It reminds me of Pete Sampras tennis. I bet you it's probably nowhere near as good as Pete Sampras tennis.
No. Go ahead, Ben. I'm sorry to interrupt you, though.
Not a problem. I'm just like thinking. I remember the Super Nintendo actually being sold for like $150 from when we picked it up. That's just my recollection.
That's just it, though. Is it? I might have been, like I said, I was being very generous there, but let's just put that in perspective here. You could buy a video game console for, we'll use yours, $150, or you could buy one for $500. Yeah. And on top of that, let's factor in the CDI's other functions at the time, like it can play home movies and whatnot. This was the early 90s, early to mid 90s. Tell me, in the early to mid 90s, did you guys have a DVD player?
No.
My first DVD player was my PlayStation 2.
My first DVD player came out in about 2001. Yep. We'll just say 2001.
Yeah, same here.
So
yeah, as I say, that's probably about the same time as me. So the first one I bought was my PlayStation 2.
So bearing that in mind, are you going to fork over the $500 for those extra features? Yeah.
I mean, don't forget, it's also a CD console. And don't forget, like I say, the only real one that was previously before the Philips CDI was the Sega CD, and we all know how much that sucked.
Yeah.
There was one good game for it, and you can now download that off Steam for like a few dollars.
$5 probably, yeah.
Yeah, it's Sonic CD. Yeah, the port of that is. If you've never played it, just get it. Just if you've got even a passing interest in 2D Sonic games, it's interesting enough for anyone to try. And the remake that they made it into widescreen and all the other extras that Christian Whitehead put into it, just get it. Yeah, I can't praise it highly enough.
Phil, Big Brother is watching you.
Very important aspect of life.
Well, tennis was very fun.
You admit it.
Because I just find it funny that they're really pushing this tennis game. It's like, really? This is the best you've got?
That's just what I was thinking. It's like, let's go back to the tennis because that was so entertaining.
Oh no, we'll go back to some more educational titles because, you know, what the? I've never seen that controller for the CDI that kid was playing with there.
Must have been rare and obscure or something.
Yeah, I've never seen that one myself, so.
What I find is think of is. Go ahead, Dan. I'm sorry.
The things with the CDI, a lot of the things that were released for it were like either educational or info, or it was very much like they were trying to make it like a home PC sort of thing, or like a home, like more than just a home entertainment thing. It was like supposed to be like your home media device, but yeah, you know, if you wanted that, you could have just bought a PC. I mean, obviously PCs back then weren't, you know, of the same sort of quality of now. But look, we got a Hanna-Barbera game.
I love how he says, "Fun-filled world of Scooby-Doo," and you mean to just say, "Oh, they just cut to Fred Flintstone."
Yeah, you know, because that's totally Scooby-Doo.
Now, admittedly, I know that he said Fred Flintstone like immediately after that, but it's just, jeez.
Ordering, it's important.
Yeah.
At your service. Were you sent by the wall?
I just love how it periodically shows the CDI logo in the bottom right-hand corner, just in case you're wondering what the hell they're talking about.
Buy our toys.
Like tennis?
But no, it's not a toy. Oh, sorry, I'm getting confused with the old 3DO adverts, because to be fair, the 3DO and the CDI both have similar issues, although to be fair to the 3DO actually had some pretty damn good titles. I mean, the port of Street Fighter 2 Turbo was actually really, really good. So, yeah, the 3DO is just about on the okay-ish side, but the Philips CDI just really wasn't.
It was a $500 money hole.
Just think though that this basically came out of the falling out from Nintendo with Philips, and to be fair, the funny thing is though, not only did Nintendo fall out with Philips for a CD-based console, they then fell out with Sony.
With Sony, yes.
That's how we ended up with the PlayStation.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny because if they'd never fallen out with Sony to begin with, I'm kind of curious how the PlayStation would have worked as a Nintendo product. I'm legitimately curious how that would have
Well, literally, the PlayStation was basically the SNES equivalent of the Sega CD, basically, or the Mega CD, whatever you want to call it, depending on the region. So yeah, it would have literally slapped onto the bottom or the side or whatever of the SNES and would have been an additional CD-based add-on for the console.
That would have been annoying if you ask me.
Well, yeah, because, you know, if you've ever seen a Mega Drive, especially well, to be fair, it's an even bigger mess with the old-style Mega Drive, but I had a Mega Drive too, and even with that, if you slapped the CD add-on to it and the 32X on it, it really does look like a spectacular mess.
So, Phil, have we guilted you enough into buying this product?
No, we've still got another 10 minutes to go. Do you know what's funny though, is that so far they've not actually really pushed the fact that they actually got the license from Nintendo to make Nintendo-based things. You'd think of all the things to be really pushing that would be like one of the #1 things, because, you know, it would have been a pretty unique selling point of saying, hey, we've got all this other stuff and we've got stuff from other consoles that you can also buy for us. I mean, obviously I know that the Nintendo-based games were absolutely god-awful. My boy.
Well, see, I mean, I knew that. Sorry, I'm trying to speak and my whole train of thought just gets derailed. I know you see a couple of those clips from Zelda there, but yeah, that would have been kind of interesting. But I'm guessing the reason why they haven't done that is because even if they were to, outside of the actual gameplay, even they found that the cutscenes were just god awful, and they just couldn't, like, okay, yeah, we can't really show this. Because, you know, you look at this artwork, if you will, and it's like, oh, this excuse for artwork, if you will. And yeah, they probably already knew that would just turn people away just by looking at that. So yeah, figure let's just go ahead. We'll just maybe show a couple.
Whoa. Hang on. It says it plays feature-length movies, but then in brackets underneath with additional cartridge. So you had to buy something separate so you could watch movies on this piece of garbage.
That's all the better if you ask me.
Yep. Kudos to them.
Mind you, you actually had the Xbox, the Microsoft Xbox, to play DVDs. You actually had to buy the DVD remote for the DVDs to work.
But that wasn't...
Out of the box, it could play them, but you wouldn't be able to play them without the remote. Which I find really, really stupid.
That's actually kind of interesting because I know that with the PlayStation 2, when I still have my PlayStation 2 that works as a DVD player,
it works with a controller.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, you know, it begs the question, why can't it work with the controller with the Xbox? Because with the Xbox you have a thing that goes in one of the controller ports, so you can use your DVD controller. If you don't have that plugged into your Xbox, it will not read DVDs.
Yeah, that's weird.
I'll give the Xbox versus this a little bit more credit. At least the DVD accessory is cheaper. But yes, I agree with you.
Fair, if you're going to be watching a lot of movies, you'd want a remote anyway. So I'll give it that. I mean, you know, and obviously there was a lot more better functional games. Oh God, he's playing Zelda.
I was about to say. I mean, look, we were just riffing on that, and look, now he's actually playing Zelda.
He's trying to play it with the wireless controller. No wonder he's sucking. To be fair, I've played this game with an Xbox 360 controller, and I still sucked at it.
I'm trying to get past those flying...
Hold on.
Pterodactyls. Can you give me some pointers?
Yes. Good.
Yes, play a better Zelda game.
Okay, what was it? That being said, on your DVD point there, Matt, yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Did she just say that to improve your gaming to buy a wired controller? So they basically are just admitting how piece of shite the wireless controller is for gaming.
Sorry to interrupt, but could we get back to the game?
No, I'd rather play something else.
May I recommend something less challenging in the dexterity and hand?
What was it you just said about admitting about the crappy wireless controller, Matt?
I know.
I love
it's
that.
Quite incredulous, isn't it? So, yeah, we know certain parts of our product suck, and we're going to admit to it.
Okay, so
not even a minute after you mentioned play a better Zelda game, the actual commercial even outright admits that is best commercial ever.
I'm amazed they've not shown Hotel Mario yet, though.
Yet.
Yet.
Yeah, I know. I said yet. Oh, Sandy's Circus Adventure. That looks riveting. I like how they consider children's titles as basically like barely functional games that are just basically point and click adventure titles for people that have not much to point or click at.
You know, when I got my first game console, the SNES, when I was like 6 or 7, I can't remember.
I had a Commodore 64. Kid.
Well, yeah, let that stand as the age differences here. But work with me for a minute. You want to know what I was always thinking when it came to video games? It was always, okay, so what's the next game that I can get that I'm going to have an utter blast with? What game am I going to have the most fun with? It was never, ooh, point and click. It was always, you know, I want an actual experience out of this, if even that wasn't totally clear to me at that time.
Hey, don't mock point and click games now. To be fair, when I was a kid, I probably would have found point and click games incredibly boring. But you know, nowadays I do have the time and patience for those titles now.
But you know where I'm going with this.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's not something, you know, the idea of that kids can't just play, you know, standard video games is a nonsense.
It was more like it feels more insulting to.
Okay, brief footage of that game actually looked half decent for the era. It was only like a few seconds, but it actually looked halfway decent. This is the thing with the Philips CDI. Technologically, it was actually pretty impressive for the time. So there were moments that it actually looked really good. Apparently, the port of mist for the CDI was actually pretty decent, you know, considering the time and the technology. So it's not like the Philips CDI was not capable. It was capable enough. It was just that it just didn't really have anything to know, other than obviously the infamous stuff. But you know, there was no real actual good games for the CDI, really. I mean, it had a okay port of Dragon's Lair, and you know, obviously like the titles I've just mentioned. But yeah, unlike just about any other console where I can say, oh, there's at least this title to play. I mean, hell, even the 32X had Knuckles Chaotix, which is not a particularly good game, but it's at least interesting to play. So yeah.
I know where you're going with that.
I can't name you one essential title for the CDI. I mean, obviously, other than the Zelda games, because they're not essential for the reason of it being a really good game. It's just because of how infamous they are and how rare, of course, as well. Because I think a copy of like Zelda's Adventure, for example, was like something like over $1,000.
Yeesh, that is just. No, I was just about to say that's crazy how something like that goes for that much. But as you were about to say,
I love how they keep cycling this kind of tag, whatever it is.
Oh yeah, this.
It's like, yeah, we get it.
This is like the third time we've seen it. I know, yeah.
The stock footage.
This is the ultimate, because there's always these longer infomercials that seem to fill up a huge amount of time. This is obviously one of those ones that was basically used for like the downtime of a TV channel or whatever, or one of those 24-hour sort of infomercial channels that you get nowadays. But yeah, I mean, the thing is though, I like how they're pushing the photo CDs thing. To be fair, you'll be surprised to know that like many subsequent CD-based video game consoles, including like things like the PlayStation 2 and the PlayStation 3 do it. How many people actually use that function? I certainly don't.
You know,
if I want to look at my photos, if I upload them anywhere, it'll be to my PC so I can print them somewhere. Because that's the problem with to loading them onto your game console. You've got nowhere to print them, or no way of printing them.
You know, my Xbox 360, one of the last consoles I owned, you want to know what that was used for?
Yep.
Gaming. More gaming. And the very rare occasional movie, DVD.
This is the thing with games consoles now, and it's to be fair, I'm not against them doing more than just playing games. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I've got my PlayStation 3, and I'll admit I play a lot of Blu-rays on there because it's at the time it was the cheapest way of buying a Blu-ray player, which is fair. Fair enough, but it's not like when I bought the PlayStation 3, the first thing that I bought it for was for video gaming first, and then everything else was like a bonus.
Yep.
It seems to me, I mean, now
that seems to be where a lot of consoles seem to be drifting nowadays.
This was the problem with the Xbox One. Don't get me wrong, I pretty much drifted away from the Xbox brand because I just find it very much too track-minded, of being far too much about first-person shooters and just sports games. And don't get me wrong, I'm not really against either genre, although my views on first-person shooters is very well documented by now. But anyway, that's not the point. The problem with the Xbox One's reveal was that video gaming was like pretty much, that was not the focus. That was like the additional bonus thing. Like the main thing was sports, TV. Why make something that's supposedly a video game brand and not bring any video games to the table? That just baffles the mind to me. I mean, there was a lot of other mistakes they made with the launch of that console, but
I was about to say, I also remember the major backlash that they got when they announced that they was going to have like some DRM policies or something like that, where it was like
the biggest.
Yeah.
Do you know the real reason they stopped doing that and making it online only to play the video games?
The
military.
Backlash.
The military.
Oh yeah,
because most people within the military would not have been able to play the consoles, and that's like, when you consider that a lot of these, I mean, I know in America there is you pride a huge amount of respect to your armed forces, and don't get me wrong, that is a very admirable thing to do, and I would certainly wish that we did that more here in this country, but that's by the by. Because of things like that, I think the biggest problem that Microsoft had when they had these ideas, in theory, some of these ideas are really, really good, like the fact that you could do like share play and stuff like that, or something similar to share play. The ideas on paper are probably really, really good. Problem is, though, in real life, it just doesn't work. And the biggest problem, obviously, with making it online only, I mean, in America, most parts of America have, pretty damn good internet now. But what about us people in Europe? I mean, here in Europe, our internet can be pretty damn woeful at times. How are we going to be able to? I mean, here's a good example of why I've not moved on in video games to the next generation of consoles. Basically, my internet's holding me back. If I wanted to, it's just as an example, if I bought a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One and then bought Assassin's Creed Unity. Now, obviously, there's a big culture now of their games being patched before you can play them. Well, some of the patches are like 7 gigabytes. That will literally take me close to probably at least 15, 20 hours a day to download. And that's if my internet's working as it should be. If it's not, it could take several days, maybe a week in certain cases. It's just, I mean, people complain about load times with video games from the past, like things like the Commodore 64, which had like 5-minute load times. If you factor in how long it takes to download patches and updates for your games nowadays, you're probably spending more time waiting to play your games than you are actually playing the darn things.
This is actually why I prefer physical copies of the discs, like on my Wii.
But that doesn't seem to matter now, because you still have massive patches for games. I mean, like I say, look at Assassin's Creed Unity. You still had a 6 to 7 gigabyte patch before you could actually play a functional version of the game, and that's even if you bought the disc.
Yeah,
I know where you're going with this.
Right on that, yeah.
I know where you're going with this, Ben, and I do have to agree with you. I like the tangible copies myself too.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong, I like that as well, because the other problem is if you get a problem with like your hard drive, I mean, I know you can re-download it because obviously it's tied to your account, but that would be a huge frustration as well if I had a massive library. If say I put a custom hard drive into my console so I could like download more titles, because that's another bugbear of mine. They never seem to give you a hard drive that's large enough. Thank you, Nintendo Wii U.
But, what I would like to see more of is actually companies adopting Steam's method, because yesterday with game night and all that, for the first time I actually downloaded Steam on my late mother's laptop, because I never actually did that before. I had no reason to. But, I was kind of interesting to me, because I knew for a fact that with Steam, you could download the client on any software, on any computer, and so long as you had access to your account, like your username and your password, you still had access to your library of games that you bought. All you needed to do is just re-download it to the local client and go from there. Save games and everything. So,
to be fair to Sony, at least, I mean, I'm not too au fait with online Microsoft stuff, because the only Microsoft console I've ever had was the original Xbox, and this was actually before I even had broadband, so I never actually had Xbox. In fact, if I ever stream from my Xbox, you'll notice that my main menu screen actually has Xbox Live missing from the main screen, because I never actually used Xbox Live on my original Xbox, which is kind of shocking, I know. But I know from the PlayStation 3, I've been able to download all my stuff from one console to another, because I replaced my old fat one with a slim one, because my mother uses the old fat one because she's hugely into the Lego games. She's got like all of them that were released for the PlayStation 3, and she's completed just about all of them except for the most recent one, which is Lego Batman 3, I believe.
I like that.
Hey, she's completed more games than I have for the console. That's kind of embarrassing, really. Not really, I suppose, really, because I don't play as many games as I used to.
I think we've really gone off hand, and I'll tell you what, we can continue this conversation, but let's wrap the video itself up.
Yeah.
All right. So what do we think?
Philips CDI, they're going to be fantastic.
So what should we do next week?
Well, I mentioned this before in the Skype, in the actual just chat between us, but I'm just going to go ahead and throw this out as an announcement. This is what I'm thinking of. Speaking of video games, I actually had an idea of me just taking an old video game, an old bad video game like Captain Novolin, for example, just doing a playthrough silently, just recording myself, and then just taking that recording and then just having us just riff on it and just lambast it on just taking the game and just
yelling at its flaws.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's just say this. I was suggesting that I find a cheap copy of Bubsy 3D.
Oh.
Why did I say that? Why?
Why don't we? Do you want to give that a shot, Mr. Ben, next week?
I could do that. I mean, it'll.
Should we have a backup just in case that falls through? So perhaps we should have a look through this and just have a backup just in case.
That's a good idea. I like that.
Definitely a good idea. I like having a backup plan. Yeah.
Let me just load up the list so we can all go through that again.
I know off the top of my head we got Tentacolino, Beast of a Million Backs. Any other?
Keep going,
I'm
Ben.
not looking forward to doing Beast of a Billion Backs.
Say, those are like the only three off the top of my head that I know of right off the top of my head.
Oh God, where is it? I'm looking for it.
I've got it up. We could do. Do we want to do something painful or something fun?
Well, let's just go through all of them, and we can then decide what is painful and what is fun. To be fair, because Beast with a Billion Backs is painful for me at least. Because it's like shitting on a show I absolutely adore. So,
is Rain going to be here next week?
I don't know. I was hoping he'd be here this week, but
I think he is. You guys be up for Toddler Titans? Because I kind of want to.
I do want to do Toddler Titans at some point.
So long as it ain't Red
There's one episode that will be painful if you're a big fan of the original Teen Titans, and we will be doing it. It's called Staring at the Future. We will be doing that episode. I don't think we should do waffles, because really, what can you really say about an episode that just has the word waffles 188 times in it?
Oh, I think I know.
Other than waffles.
I know what I could say about that. Trust me. So you want to? So
we might have to do, but we'll definitely do Girls versus Boys as well. Because that one is...
It's kind of on those same terms for that reason, but I'll get there when we get there. So we'll do Mr. Ben's video game next week, and we'll have Toddler Titans as a backup.
Yes.
That sound good? All right.
Sounds good to me. I can go ahead and download the game, and I already have an idea what I'm going to do, so I'm not going to say what it is. I have an idea what we're going to be doing. Okay. So...
Until then, thanks everyone for stopping on by. See you around next week for more CQRiffs. As hopefully we ditch the shows and start raging at the machines. And I want to put something in perspective before we go. All of us here are, I guess I don't know about Rain, but I'm going to assume otherwise. 3 of us anyway are, and I should say 3 of the 5 I can confirm. 4. Xena is. She is. Anyway, 4 of the 5 of us who normally do this are gamers. So a lot of this is going to hit really close to home. Until then, farewell.
Take care, everybody.